Hello, friends of Sudoku, and welcome to an expert puzzle by El País. It is the puzzle dated February 1st, 2024, and that also happens to be today's date. Let's dive right in. I love these patterns. Look at the 2, 7, 8, and a 9 here. We know that these squares here have got to be a 2, 7, 8, and a 9. While I can't solve those right off the bat, I know now that these three cannot be a 2, 7, 8, or a 9. They must be a 1, 6, 4. And that means that, of course, makes these a 5 and a 3. We also have 5 and 3 blocking here and 5 and 3 blocking across here. And we have a 5 and a 3 in this row already. But since we know that 7 must go in one of these squares here, and we have this 7 blocking up here and this 7 blocking over, we can say that this is a 7. And since this 4 is blocking this way, we know that one of these is a 4 blocking down. We also know that one of these must be a 4. So it follows that we are going to have a 4 in one of these two squares. And therefore, in the bottom row, a 4 either here or here. This 8 blocks these two squares, and this 8 blocks this square. Therefore, we have an 8 here. And a 2, 3, and a 9 for these three remaining squares now. The 9, of course, now must go here or here. Let me get back to the 5 and the 3 that we are going to have here. The 5 blocks up, so here's a 3 and here's a 5. Given this 5 that blocks here and these two 5s blocking here, this must be a 5. And these two 5s block down. This 5 blocks across. Here's another 5. Now we're going to have 5s here or here and here or here. The ones now are getting more clear. This 1 blocks down. One of these must be a 4 blocking over. This 1 blocks over. We know that this 1 blocks down. We also know that one of these must be a 1 blocking down. And that leaves just this square for a 1. We now have a 3 blocking down here and a 3 blocking down here. We have this 3 blocking across. So here's 3. Let's have a look at column 2. A 4, 6, and 8 still missing. There's a 6 and an 8 blocking here, so this has got to be a 4. And these two now a 6 and an 8 pair. Now we have a 6 and a 4 blocking down. We have a 6 and a 4 blocking across. So these two must be a 6 and a 4. And that severely restricts the places where we can enter a 3 in this block 8. Because if these are 6 and 4, they can't be 3s. This 3 blocks across here. This 3 blocks across here. Therefore, this must be a 3. For these squares, we need a 2 and a 9. And the 9 blocks here. So here's a 2, and here must go a 9. The 9 blocks over here. One of these is a 9 blocking up. This 9 blocks over. We know one of these is going to be a 9. Therefore, one of these must be a 9. Which one it's going to be, I can't say yet. 4 and 6 here, though. That gives me a 5 and a 2 for these squares. And a 7 and a 9 for these. We have a 2 blocking this square, and we have these 2's blocking these squares here. So here's a 2. We talked about how one of these had got to be a 9, didn't we? Let me recap. The 9 blocks over here, therefore one of these is a 9 blocking up. This 9 blocks over, so here's a 9. This 4 blocks all of these 3 squares, therefore a 4 must go here. Now we can resolve the 4 and the 6 we had here. We know that one of these must be a 6, and that it goes to 6 blocks down. This 6 blocks over, therefore we have a 6 here. The last square up here has got to be an 8. We can place a 4 now in one of these squares, and here's how we work that out. This 4 blocks across, so one of these is a 4 blocking down, so and we have a 4 here, so we know that one of these must be a 4. And we have this 4 blocking across here and this 4 blocking down, so this must be a 4. Now we have 2 4s blocking like so, therefore this must be a 4. And these are 1 and a 6. Over here we only need a 6 and a 7 now. And they must also wait a little while longer, I think. Here now a 5 and a 6. That's easier because the 6 blocks up, giving me a 5 here and a 6 for this position here. This 5 blocks down, therefore this must be a 5 and this must be a 2. 7 and 9 here still. This 1 blocks here and here, therefore we have a 1 here. So these squares must be a 9 and a 7. That is easier now because the 7 blocks over, giving me this 9 and this 7, which blocks over here. This 7 blocks down here and this 7 blocks here. So here's a 7. And here must go a 2, which blocks up here. Therefore this must be a 2. And these now must be 6, 4, and a 9. 1 and 6 here, and here an 8 and a 9. 8 blocks over, therefore a 9 goes here, and an 8 here. This is quite a fun puzzle. It doesn't really present much of a challenge, at least not so far, but it's quite fun to figure out all of this. The 7 forces a 7 to go here and a 6 here. Now we have 2 7s blocking up like so, and we have a 7 blocking across here and across here. So here's a 7. We need to find a 1 and a 3 for these 2 squares. That's easy enough because the 3 blocks here. So here's a 1 and here's a 3. Here, what are we looking for here? We're looking for a 6 and a 9. The 6 blocks over, so here's a 9, here's a 6. Now we have a 6 here. We're still waiting here, I think, for, no, we're not waiting because the 9 blocks over, so this must be a 9, and this must be a 4. Which blocks across? This 4 blocks across, and this 4 blocks up. 4 here. 2 and 8 here. 8 blocks this square, therefore it must be a 2, and this must be an 8. 1 square left in the block here, and that must be a 2. Let's go back down here for a moment. The 6 that we found here forces a 1 to go here and a 6 here. 7 and 9 here. The 7 that we found forces the 9 to go here. The 7 must go here. 9 blocks up and over. 9 here. Here a 1. Therefore a 1 here. 3 and 8 still missing. The 8 blocks here, so here's a 3, giving me a 3 here and an 8 here. Fun little puzzle today from El País. Thank you for watching and bye for now.